Vertical Raise is the premier online donation platform, utilizing email, text messaging, and social media campaigns to exponentially increase the reach of your fundraiser. With detailed tracking and the complete personalization of every page, Vertical Raise provides an easy system that works. Our experienced representatives have made us the most effective fundraising platform available. We look forward to the opportunity in helping elevate your program to the next level and reaching your goals. Visit online or call today.
This is a Queen Bee Radio High School sports presentation.
Hey everyone, I'm Tyler Dictanis, and welcome to another edition of the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup, presented by Vertical Raise Milwaukee. The winter sports season is officially in full swing. A ton of basketball and wrestling to talk about. Highlights on the Sups.com highlight reel, and special guest Kaleen McGettigan, the head coach of the Belmont Braves girls basketball team. She's our one-on-one with a great one interview presented by People's State Bank, all on this week's show. But we're going to lead off with what we've seen in girls basketball this past week. The latest WisSports.net coaches poll came out this past Tuesday, and we see a number of local teams in the top 10 in their respective divisions. In Division 4, Cuba City sits in the number 6 spot, and in Division 5, the co-ops of Albany Monticello and Argyle-Pecatonica, as well as Belmont, all make the cut as ranked teams. Cuba City came away with 2 victories earlier this week, a 55-47 win over the number 9 ranked Belmont Braves on Monday night, followed by a blowout win over the Fenimore Golden Eagles in their SWAL opener, 78-37. The reigning SWAL Player of the Year, Olivia Olson, scored over 20 points in each of those games, and during Tuesday's game versus Fenimore became the 8th player in Cuba City girls basketball history to surpass the 1,000-point mark on her career. Through 6 games, Olivia Olson is averaging just shy of 20 points per contest. Here's what Cubans head coach Jason Derby had to say about the accomplishment.
I want to give some recognition to Olivia Olson. She does so many things that have nothing to do with scoring points or even basketball that there's plenty to be proud of her as a person. And it's just fun to see every once in a while I get something on court that there can be a nice reward for too. So super proud of her on and off the basketball court, and just a big thanks to Fenimore too for allowing us to have that recognition tonight and doing that, because not every team would do that.
The Cubans currently have a 4-2 record and will have a big matchup with their SWAL rival, Mineral Point, on Friday night, which you can listen to on Dubuque Super Hits 106 and watch on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Also in the SWAL, basketball won their conference opener over Southwestern, and Darlington is still undefeated with a 5-0 mark after getting past Riverdale 50-39. Darlington and basketball will square off in basketball on Friday night, and then Darlington will host Belmont in non-conference action on Monday evening. In the SWC, Dodgeville is currently undefeated with a 4-0 record, but not without a scare from the Lancaster Flying Arrows last Friday night in their SWC opener. It took a come-from-behind effort in the second half and an overtime period for Dodgeville to get the win over Lancaster 53-50. Billy Weagle led the Dodgers with 21 points in the game, and Maggie White added 17 points. And for Lancaster, they were led by Jessica Morgan with 15 points, and Annie Martin had a double-double with 11 points and 10 rebounds. The Dodgers will try to keep their perfect record intact as they take on River Valley Thursday night, while Lancaster will try to get their first win of the season when they host Platteville Thursday night on ESPN Radio, AM 5090 WPVL, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Platteville comes into Thursday's matchup on a 2-game winning streak after beginning the season 0-4, and they're coming off wins at Prairie to Chien last Friday night and a 74-52 non-conference win against Shullsburg, a game where Avery Richard, Claire Hoosier, Macy Noble, and Jackson Burnchin all scored double figures for the Hillmen. Moving into the Six Rivers West, where conference play begins on Friday night, the number 9 ranked Belmont Braves travel to River Ridge to take on the Timberwolves. We'll have that matchup on 97.7 Country WGR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. This is a matchup between the top 2 teams in the conference last year. Belmont, of course, went undefeated in conference play, and River Ridge's only conference losses were at the hands of the Braves last year. Belmont comes into the game with a 2-3 overall record, with all of their losses coming to ranked teams like Cuba City, Argyle-Pecatonica, and Albany Monticello. River Ridge, meanwhile, has a nice start to their season, a 3-1 record with wins over DeSoto, Boscoville, and Riverdale. The other Six Rivers West matchups coming up later this week include Benton at Highland, Wisconsin Heights at Potosi-Cassville in non-conference play, and a Saturday afternoon game for Shullsburg at the La Crosse Civic Center when they take on Kickapoo in a non-conference matchup. The Six Rivers East looks to be ultra competitive as conference play opens up. In addition to both Albany Monticello and Argyle Pecatonica being ranked in the Division 5 poll, Barneveld has a 4-1 record through 5 games. Barneveld took down Benton 55-28 on Tuesday, while Argyle Pecatonica flexed their muscle on Potosi-Cassville 82-50. In that matchup, Kylie Butler scored 29 points, and Brooke Wellness had a double-double with 28 points and 10 rebounds. Six Rivers East games coming up this week include non-conference matchups between Barneveld and Belleville, and then on Friday night, conference matchups between Judah and undefeated Albany Monticello and Blackhawk at Argyle Pecatonica. On the Illinois side of the border, the Galena Pirates are off to a nice start, currently 6-0 on the season, and are currently ranked number 4 in the state, according to Max Preps. The Pirates have a big matchup on Thursday night when they take on another ranked team, Freeport Aikman Catholic. Galena will take on 2 Wisconsin teams next week when they host Southwestern on Tuesday, followed by a matchup with Cuba City next Saturday at Loras College. Coming up next, we'll chat with Belmont Braves girls basketball coach Kaleen McGettigan, our guest on our one-on-one with a great one interview segment presented by People's State Bank. That more high school sports coverage coming up on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup, presented by Vertical Raise Milwaukee, continues on YouTube and SoundCloud. This one-on-one with a great one interview is presented by People's State Bank.
Looking for a checking account with no monthly requirements or service charge? People's State Bank's People's Checking Account is just what you're looking for. This account includes free debit card, online and mobile banking, bill pay, and much more at no cost to you. You heard that right. No cost to you. We're your local community bank ready to serve you. People's State Bank. Member FDIC.
Back on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup, presented by Vertical Raise Milwaukee. It's now time for us to go one-on-one with a great one, presented by People's State Bank. And I'm thrilled that we get to chat with one of the best in our area. She guided the Belmont Braves girls basketball team to back-to-back sectional appearances in Division 5, coached at the WBCA All-Star Game this past summer, and was also awarded the WBCA Achievement Award at the Hall of Fame banquet this past summer. Our guest is Kaleen McGettigan. Coach, great to see you and catch up with you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Just ran down some of the coaching accomplishments that you've had, and all those came over the past 2 seasons. And I know that there's many more that I haven't been able to mention, but I do want to start with how your coaching journey began. Where did the love of coaching begin? What got you into coaching, and what's kept you in the coaching ranks all these years?
I've actually been coaching probably since my freshman year of high school. It's just something that I kind of became attracted to, is working with the youth. It's always been a passion of mine. Both my softball coach and my basketball coach, Mr. Meyer and Mr. Wainwright in high school, we're constantly like, you need to coach, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I just fell in love with it. You know, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at the time. And I coached all the way through high school. I would say probably three of the years in college. I think I took my freshman year off where I wasn't coaching anything, but then just jumped right back into camps. And I've been coaching since. So it's been a long journey of coaching, but it's absolutely one of my very favorite things to do.
Yeah, as I mentioned, in addition to the varsity coaching responsibilities, you're very much involved with the youth programs and running those tournaments and things like that. What does being involved with the youth programs mean to you?
It's absolutely huge. I mean, it's a huge credit to why we're having the success that we have now. When I first came to Belmont, was it 18 years ago, we had parents that were invested in running what they could, but there just wasn't a fully functioning youth program. And so that was one of the first things that I attacked when I first got here, because I knew how important, coming from Peck, you know, in late 90s, 2000s, we had so much success there. And a lot of that was because of the youth programs. So I was able to, with some of the parents, kind of get that off the ground. I had to do a lot of it on my own when we first started. But, you know, since it's been developed, we have a lot of great parents, and Mr. Books on the boys' side has really been, you know, really great with us too. So we have a fully functioning youth program on both boys and girls, and we're starting to see the benefits of that.
Yeah, but I talked with Brandon Weiss about this when he was a guest on our show during football season. But last year, Belmont had quite the year across all high school athletics, and obviously, you had a front row seat coaching basketball. But I've also seen you, on the sidelines at volleyball, and supporting the other student athletes at other events. From your vantage point, what are the things that you attribute to Belmont's success the past couple seasons?
Well, one of the things I love about our school is that our youth is really involved with our high school. And so our youth kids are interacting with our high school kids, almost on a daily basis between our tutors or, kids coming over to read or, them being brought to the sporting event. So they really have this kind of role model and this person, these people that they want to look up to. And then once that develops, they see what our older kids are doing, spending time in the weight room, spending time after practice, getting up shots or working on their ball handling. And these younger kids really want to be like these older kids. And it's funny, I teach first grade, so I hear and I see a lot of, there's Reese. Reese had a good game the other day, and one of my first graders is like, there's Reese, and they recognize her and they see the success she's having and they want to be like her.
That's really cool. And during the postseason run last year, we talked quite a bit, both in pregame and postgame interviews, about the support that you have of the parents and the community in Belmont. But I think it's safe to say your biggest supporter is the guy that sits next to you on those sidelines during basketball season, which is your husband, Frank. I don't know how many coaches are often willing to have their spouse be on their coaching staff, but not only has it been working, it works out very, very well. Talk about that dynamic about having him on the sidelines and how important it is to you having him coaching your program as well.
We have a lot of the similar beliefs when it comes to sports and just kind of like life and just kind of expectations in general. We've been together for, was it almost 24 years now? I played at college basketball, UWP, so did he. So we've been around the game a lot. And we always joke that if we had to coach against each other, we could never live in the same house. But because we coach with each other, we're able to bounce ideas off of each other. And there are some times where I don't agree with what he says or vice versa. And we just have to talk it out. But it really has worked really, really, really well. He brings some stuff to the table that I just am not as strong in. And then flip it the other way. He feels the same way that I bring some stuff to the girls that he just either isn't comfortable dealing with or just doesn't feel like he could. He's a wonderful asset to the team, to the girls, and he brings a lot to our youth program too. He volunteers a ton of time with reffing and he just kind of does, the extra stuff behind the scenes.
Awesome. And looking at the current season right now, your team has a 2-3 record, but you've certainly had about as tough of a schedule as any team in the area. The 3 losses are to ranked teams, 2 of which that quite honestly didn't exist just because of new co-ops that started this year. But your Braves are one of, if not the favorites to win the Six Rivers West. You have a bunch of pieces coming back from last year's team. Talk about the players that you have coming back for this year's squad that reached the sectional final last year and what you've seen from your team in these early non-conference games.
You touched on it. Our schedule is as tough of a schedule as any team in the state. We play some really great competition. And like you said, 3 of our losses right now are against ranked teams. We played a very tough Cuba City team, as tough as we could, within 4, then a minute left. And that is really credit to, like you said, the returners I had coming back from our back-to-back sectional runs. These kids have been in big games. They know what it takes to win. And kids like Reese Rundy, Lainey Rickers, Bailey Messer, those are seniors that started with our new weight room program as a freshman. And you can see the results of that. Our juniors coming back. Morgan Freeman just had a heck of a game against Cuba City. She's as good of a rebounder as I've seen. Casey Rickers is back with us too. And then we throw in some new juniors and sophomores, and we even have a freshman that's starting to contribute. And there's just such an intensity in the gym, that they know what it takes. And we have to go to that next level. And it gets uncomfortable, but there is a really great intensity in our gym this year. And I just feel like we haven't even scratched the surface about how good we can be.
We're looking forward to seeing how the Braves pan out during the season. We'll have coverage of Belmont on our Queen Bee Radio family stations over the next couple of weeks. RJ Osterhaus will have the call of the game on Friday night at River Ridge on 97.7 Country WGLR, and then I'll have the call of your home game against Schallsburg on Extreme 107.1 next Thursday. Both those games also will be video streamed on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Coach, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck to you, and good luck to your Braves this season.
Thanks. I appreciate all the coverage too.
Yep, absolutely. That was Belmont Braves girls basketball coach Kaleen McGettigan, our guest on our one-on-one with a great one interview presented by People's State Bank. And we'll have more on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup presented by Vertical Raise Milwaukee after this on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Grow your business by enhancing your digital marketing efforts with Queen Bee Radio and Phase 3 Digital. We provide customized solutions based on your business's unique needs, including targeted advertising, website development, and search engine optimization. Contact us at 608-349-2000 or visit p3da.com/Platteville to learn more.
Back on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup presented by Vertical Raise Milwaukee. High school wrestling got underway last week, and we had some thrilling dual meets last Thursday and Friday on 97.7 Country WGLR and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. The match that we had last Thursday had the triumph of Cuba City, Benton, Southwestern taking on Lancaster, and Cuba City came away with a 34-32 win over the Flying Arrows. Lancaster had a 32-25 lead with 2 matches left, but Cuba City's Landon Bush got a 2-1 decision over Logan Wolf at 165 pounds. Then Gail Denard got the fall over Nolan Wolf to give the Tri-Op the win. Evan Curtis and Brody Blackburn all got pins for Cuba City, while Jackson Seipel and Devin Tidrick got pins for Lancaster. Then in one of the most anticipated dual meets of the season in the state, Iowa Grant Highland hosted Prairie to Chien, and boy, did that one live up to the hype. Prairie to Chien got things started quickly with pins from Hunter Reed, Bradley Brewer, Brady Baumgartner, and Mason Hurd to jump out to a 24-6 lead after 5 matches. Then Iowa Grant Highland would win the next 7 matches, scoring 28 points, with pins from Tyson Imhoff and Gavin Hinderman. But the score was 34-24 with 2 matches left, and Prairie to Chien got pins from Blake Thierry and Jack Simmons for the Blackhawks to get the thrilling victory over the Iowa Grant Highland Co-op. In wrestling tournaments over the weekend, Iowa Grant Highland traveled to East Delaware to compete in the Bob Murphy tournament in Iowa. As a team, Iowa Grant Highland finished second with a team score of 207 points. Hunter Stevens was the champion at 138 pounds. Brock Hinderman won at 144 pounds, and Jackson Bussey won at 157 pounds. Tyson Imhoff finished second at 150, and third place finishers include Lucas Christensen at 120 pounds, Emerson Moen at 165, and Gavin Hinderman at 175. The reigning state champion Fenimore Golden Eagles competed at the Cliff Keen Independence Invitational in Iowa and finished in 3rd place with a team score of 277 points. Tristan Stelt was the champion at 165 pounds, and Wyatt Anand was the champion at 190. Evan Gratz finished 2nd at 285, and Ian Krapp placed 3rd at 150. Coming up on Friday night, we'll have coverage of Fenimore's dual meet against small rival Mineral Point on ESPN Radio, AM 1590, WPVL. Lancaster Flying Arrows competed at the Reedsburg Duels on Saturday, but lost all of their matchups. They fell to Monona Grove McFarland 45-34, Riverdale 72-12, and Reedsburg 48-27. The Flying Arrows' next dual meet will be at MFL Marmac next Tuesday night, and we'll have coverage of that meet on 97.7 Country WGLR. We'll have more on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup after this on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Check out Sups.com. Sups is Southwest Wisconsin's go-to supplement store. Find all your favorite supplement brands at the best prices from local people. Fuel your fitness journey. Sups.com, your go-to supplement store with locations in Fenimore and Dubuque.
This week's highlight reel is presented by Sups.com.
Good job, some flexibility here by John Muldoon fighting this off. Under a minute now, second period, and now it's a little bit tighter, and Curtis able to get over to near fall criteria. And close to coming up with the fall is Evan Curtis. And there, the fall, pin time to 3 minutes and 20 seconds for Evan Curtis. And there's a wrench and on over to his back. Tidrick coming to a pin, and there's a pin. The time of 1 minute and 31 seconds for Devin Tidrick. Oh. There's a nice duck under by Wolf. And And he's going to take the lead at 3-2 at the 42nd mark of the first period. Getting a little bit high, and he's going to get hit by a Granby roll. Denar. And he's getting back points off of this too. Half a minute remaining. And Denar right into a pinning combination on Wolf. 20 seconds remaining. Wolf struggling to keep a shoulder up. Denar trying to tighten things up. 12 seconds remaining. And there's the pin. Pin time of 1 minute, 51 seconds for Cale Denar. And Cuba City will leave with a 34-32 victory.
Working the arm bar. Over. Jump size of one-on-one. He's going to walk around his head. He's got Silvers on his back. He's getting back points. He's got him on his back, and there's a pin in 50 seconds. Hunter Reed with the pin over Aiden Silvers. He's got it tied up, tight. Now he's got him on his back, getting back points. Hooks the leg, steps over, and he gets the pin. In a minute, 20 seconds. Lucas Christensen with the pin over Porter Costa. Baumgartner stands up, breaks away. Comes back in with his chicken wing and slaps Kelly down to the mat, and there's the pin. Baumgartner is going to get a reversal and put Kelly right to his back and have a pin in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Now Hurd comes underneath. Imhoff counters. He's got the leg and arm, and he takes him down right to his back for a 2-point takedown. He's getting near fall points. Hurd is on his back. Imhoff is working the pin. He's got 10 seconds left to go. There's the pin. Pin by Imhoff. Second period. 3 minutes, 51 seconds. They're in the middle of the mat. Gertrude tries to stand up. Hinderman puts the cradle on. Oh! Hinderman puts the cradle on, tips him over, and with 1/10 of a second left to go on the clock, Hinderman's going to get the pin. Left, doesn't get it. There he slides around, comes back around, and now has Roundup on the cradle on his back, working the pin, and there's the pin. Blake Terry will win with the pin in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. He's got the far wrist, and he's driving McCone over. McCone's trying to work off his base. Simmons resets himself, comes up. Chest on chest, trying to hold McCone down. 10 seconds. And there's the pin by Prairie to Chien.
Left side, no good by Weber. Rebound, Martin saves it. Lancaster keeps it. Now Morgan for three. She got it. 26. Morgan takes it. Spins. Turnaround. Got it. Jessica Morgan looking good. Rebound taken by Morgan. Backs her way in. 18 seconds left. Morgan killing a lot of clock here. Oh, a steal. This one stolen by Weigel. Layup on the other end. Good. And we have a tie game after the steal and score. 47-47, 3 seconds left. Kelly for three, and it's no good! It hung up on the rim, but went out. It missed it by that much.
8-6 Platteville with 12:15 remaining first half. The early steal in half court, and then an errant pass, stolen, back the other way. Kramer lays it up, hits the basket, and a foul. And Platteville comes up with a rebound. Here comes Richard, and Richard heads all the way in and lays it in, coast to coast. And 19 fouls, by the way, on Platteville, 8 on Prairie du Chien with 2:20 left in the first half. Pass underneath, open up and laying it in is Perchin, and Platteville back up, 21-20 for Creamer, battling for the rebound, and Platteville comes up with it. Richard comes out, it's a 2-on-1, and she takes it in and puts it up and in, and a foul. It's 32-27 Platteville, 15:52 left in the second half, and then a steal. Platteville gets it back, and the three for Richard, bullseye! 6 seconds left, and across half court goes Richard. Platteville has its first win of the season. 63-52.
Manning fakes a three, now kicks out to the left wing. Manning gets it back, now he loads up for three, and he finds the bottom of the net. Hermson gets it across center court, going to give up to the top to Murphy. Murphy loads up for three, finds the bottom of the net. Fishneck exchanges passes now to Murphy. Three-pointer on the right corner, knocks it down. And that's the second three-pointer for the Hornets. This is 18-6. Lancaster on top. Murphy firing away for three, finds the bottom of the net again. As Lancaster comes back with a shot put up at the left hand, is good by Taylor Williams. Bucket counts and the foul, and another opportunity for a three-point play for Taylor Williams. Back on the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup presented by Vertical Rays Milwaukee. Now time to talk about boys basketball as conference play begins for our area teams. The latest WisSports.net coaches poll came out on Tuesday, and a couple SWAL teams are at the top in Division 4, with Darlington holding on to the number 1 spot and Mineral Point at number 3. Darlington off to a 3-0 start on the season with wins over Dodgeville, Platteville, and most recently Belleville, winning 89-71 on Tuesday night. The Redbirds open up conference play on Thursday night at Cuba City, which we'll have on Super Hits 106 and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. As for Mineral Point, they're also 3-0 with wins over Platteville, New Glarus, and an 82-42 win over River Valley Tuesday night. The Pointers travel to Hazel Green to take on the Wildcats in their SWAL opener on Thursday, and we'll have that game on Extreme 1071 and X1071.com. The other games on Thursday night feature basketball at Fenimore and Iowa Grant at Riverdale. Mineral Point also has a non-conference matchup on Saturday at home against Prairie du Chien. In the Six Rivers West, conference play opened up with a matchup between last year's co-champions Potosi and River Ridge. Potosi is ranked number 4 in the latest WisSports.net coaches poll, and they had to hold off the Timberwolves in a low-scoring affair, winning 35-34 after Aiden Uppena hit the go-ahead free throw with 7.7 seconds left in the game. Potosi improves to 3-0 on the season after defeating Albany and Lancaster in their first 2 games of the season. And the Chieftains' next game will be Monday night in a non-conference matchup with Iowa Grant. River Ridge, meanwhile, falls to 2-2 after alternating wins and losses to begin the season, and they will try to get back on track Thursday night against a 4-1 Highland Cardinals team fresh off a 66-61 win over Schulzburg on Tuesday night. The Cardinals have won 3 straight after a non-conference loss in double overtime to their neighbors at Iowa Grant. Other Six Rivers games this week include Belmont at Benton and Schulzburg at Cassville Thursday night, Schulzburg at Orangeville on Friday, and Blackhawk at Belmont on Saturday night. In the SWC, the only team with a winning record right now is the Lancaster Flying Arrows. After going 4-21 last season, Lancaster sits at 3-1 to begin this year's campaign with wins over Barneveld, River Ridge, and Wauzeka-Steuben. Their only loss was to the hands of Potosi last Friday night. The Arrows beat Wauzeka-Steuben 70-38, led by Michael Murphy's 20 points, which included 6 three-pointers on the game. The Arrows open up conference play Friday night at home against Prairie du Chien, and we'll have that matchup on Extreme 1071 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Other SWC matchups coming up this week include Platteville at River Valley and Dodgeville at Richland Center on Friday night. And again, Prairie du Chien traveling to Mineral Point in non-conference action on Saturday. In the Six Rivers East, Argyle's off to a nice start with a 3-1 record. They trounced Benton 72-26 Monday night and host Albany in their conference opener on Thursday night. Last year's conference champion Barneveld is 2-2 and won 2 straight games against Belleville and Albany. The Golden Eagles open up conference play Thursday night at home against a 2-1 Pecatonica team. Monticello at Blackhawk also go head-to-head on Thursday night, and Barneveld travels to Evansville on Saturday night. In Illinois, our friends in Scales Mountain remain undefeated at 6-0 on the season. They took down Belleville 59-51 last Saturday and traveled to Pecatonica on Wednesday night. They also have a road game on Friday at East Dubuque, followed by a Saturday afternoon game at home against West Carroll. And that will wrap up this week's episode of the Queen Bee Radio High School Sports Roundup presented by Vertical Race Milwaukee. I'm Tyler Dictanis. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for a brand new episode next week.